Hello everybody. If you want to read all the stories in full, please go to www.steveuk.blog. Thank you. Short story 243, The Same Kind of Smile. Maria loved her new job. She worked in a small café in the centre of Rome, and every day she met new people. Some were tourists visiting the city for the first time. Others were locals, catching up with friends over a cappuccino. Maria enjoyed talking to them all, hearing their stories and learning about their lives. One day, a man named Marco came into the cafe. He was a tall, handsome man with dark hair and piercing blue eyes. He ordered an espresso and sat down at a table by the window. Maria took his order and brought it to him, smiling politely. "Grazie," Marco said, taking a sip of his coffee. "This is delicious." "You're welcome," Maria replied. "I'm glad you like it." Marco smiled back at her. "You know," he said, "you remind me of someone I used to know." Maria was cautious. "Really?" she asked. "Who?" "My mother," Marco said. "She had the same kind of smile." Maria felt a warmth spread through her. "That's very kind of you to say," she said. "Your mother must have been a beautiful woman." "She was," Marco said, nodding. "She passed away a few years ago." Maria offered her condolences. "I'm so sorry to hear that," she said. "Thank you," Marco said. "I miss her very much." They talked for a while longer about their lives and their families. Maria felt a connection with Marco, and she enjoyed his company. When it was time for him to leave, he asked if he could see her again sometime. "I'd love that," Maria said, smiling. And so began their friendship. They met for coffee every week, and sometimes they would go for walks in the park or have dinner together. Maria learned that Marco was a writer, and he told her about his book that he was working on. He would read her passages, and she would give him feedback. One day, Marco told Maria that he was in love with her. Maria was surprised, but she soon realized that she felt the same way about him. They started dating, and they were very happy together. A year later, Marco proposed to Maria. She said yes, and they were married in a beautiful ceremony in the Italian countryside. They had a wonderful life together, full of love and laughter. As they grew older, they enjoyed traveling the world together. They visited new countries and experienced different cultures. They were always eager to learn new things and meet new people. One day when they were in their 70s, they decided to move back to Italy. They bought a small house in the countryside near the place where they had first met. They spent their days gardening, reading, and enjoying the peace and quiet of their new home. They lived a long and happy life together, and they were grateful for every moment they had. Vocabulary notes. Characters. Maria, a young woman who works in a cafe in Rome. Marco, a handsome writer who becomes Maria's love interest. Nouns. Job, the work that Maria does to earn a living. Café, a small restaurant that serves coffee, tea, and light meals. Centre, the middle of the city. Tourist, someone who is visiting a place for pleasure. Cappuccino, a type of coffee drink made with espresso and steamed milk. Espresso, a strong coffee drink made by forcing hot water through finely ground coffee beans. Table, a piece of furniture used for eating or working at. Window, a transparent opening in a wall or door that allows light and air to enter. Order, an instruction to make or supply something. Smile, a facial expression that shows happiness or pleasure. Kindness, the quality of being generous and helpful. Mother, a female parent. Condolence, an expression of sympathy to someone who has suffered a loss. Friendship, a close relationship based on mutual trust and affection. Company, the state of being with another person or people. Writer, someone whose job is to write stories, articles, or other forms of text. Book, a written work consisting of pages bound together. Passage, a section of text from a book or other written work. Feedback, information or advice given to someone about their work or performance. Love, a strong feeling of affection and care for another person. Dating, going out with someone romantically. Proposal, an offer of marriage to someone. Marriage, a state of being legally married to someone. Ceremony, a formal event to celebrate a special occasion, like a wedding. Countryside, the area of land outside of cities and towns. Travel, going from one place to another, especially for pleasure. Culture, the customs, arts and social institutions of a particular nation or people. House, a building used for people to live in. Garden, an area of ground where flowers, vegetables or other plants are grown. Reading, the activity of looking at and understanding written or printed words. Peace, a state of quiet and tranquility. Verbs, met, came into contact with someone for the first time. Enjoyed, took pleasure in something. Catch up, spend time with someone to talk about what has happened since you last saw them. Talking, having a conversation with someone. Asked, made a request to someone. Replying, responding to something that someone has said. Sipping, taking small drinks of a liquid. Offered, gave something to someone, especially when it is not required. Smiling, making a facial expression that shows happiness or pleasure. Nodding, moving your head up and down to show agreement or approval. Realized, became aware of something. Story written by onemin.ai. Image created by onemin.ai. To read all the stories in full, please go to www.steveuk.blog. Thank you. Hello, this is Steve. If you enjoyed the story, please would you take the time to leave a meaningful comment and click on the like icon. If you want to know when the next story has been uploaded, please click on the notify bell icon to be notified. If you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel and tell your English learning friends so they can benefit too. Thank you.